Hi everyone, welcome back to David at Go To Hobbies. Now, got a new game, Silent Depth 2 Pacific, and been playing this game, and it's absolutely fantastic. Really enjoy it. It's made by Micropause, and yeah, well pleased with it. So, a little basics for the starters. So, controls, pretty straightforward really. T for torpedo, G for gun, P for periscope, 1 to 5 for a head, 6 to 8 backwards, 0 to stop. You can use the middle mouse wheel to scroll in and out. Select is the left mouse button, right mouse button to fire, and then you got the F1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, but we haven't got AA guns, so we've got a deck gun. I haven't used these yet. Subview. I tend to what I tend to do is I don't use those. I'll show you in a minute. In the settings, you can set up all this to your heart's desire. Put music on, and that'll start playing in a minute. Visuals, gameplay. You can either have full screen or um, window. So yeah, you can play around so you can have full screen, you can have it in Windows or back to full screen. I normally have it in full screen. So yep, and it's basically set up as the system requires it. Yep, okay. Gameplay. Right, we'll start a new game. So we'll show you what does what, and we'll set it on medium. Right, okay. Welcome aboard, Captain. You are now in command of the USS Sargon. Home port is Midway. What they tend to doing is giving different names to submarines. I had a submarine in my last scenario, and my last game it was a different name to this, so it must be a sister ship of that, or a sister submarine rather. So home port is Midway. Your patrol zone is marked on the map, and I'll go through all that with you. Right, let's go to the map. So this is your patrol area, marked in a dotted line. This is everywhere you can go at the moment. So there's two ways to leave port. You can either press left click here and it'll go to there, right? And it'll go to wherever you want. So it'll go there, there, or wherever you want to take it in that red box. Alright? Or the other way you can do is you take control of the ship, and I'll show you how to do that. Right, so when you come back to port, everything's repaired, your ammunition is replaced, so um, this is your outline of your ship, okay, your submarine. I'll come back to that in a minute, but on here, that's your deck gun. It also highlights it above it and tells you what it is. Switches to the deck gun, right? This is open system report menu, which we've already seen. This is binoculars, so you can left mouse button scroll around. This is your home port, and if you scroll the middle mouse wheel in and out, scroll forward, you can zoom in, scroll back, zoom out, and it gives you a 360 of the port. It has aircraft flying around in it, which is very nice. So this one is periscope depth. Because we're sitting aside of the keel, well not, well, jetty or pier, whatever you like to call it, we don't really want to sort of go down, because if I go back to this, it's very shallow under here, and you don't really want to go down the periscope deck because you're going to bottom out. And another lovely thing about this game is you can literally look for an underwater view. You can see what it's like underneath. I did make another video to show you that, and we'll come to that in a moment. Right, so that will be periscope depth. You can set your periscope depth to 50 meters. That's what that will be. That flashes a searchlight, yeah, over there. Now here is this view of the submarine inside. Click it again, goes to outside. This one here opens the map, as it already says. Okay, we've already covered that, and I'll go into more detail in a bit. So this is your compass. This compass shows the submarine's direction relative to the world direction. Okay, I sometimes use it, but it can be a bit off-putting. And the best thing to think about is when you're looking at a ship, you're looking through the binoculars and you're lining it up. Say that ship there, yeah? And if you was in like torpedo mode, where I'll show you that in a further game, where you're going to fire your torpedoes, you get a little red or green triangle here, and it moves to the left or to the right. And we can get to that in another video and showing you how to attack ships and so on, and other submarines. And there's submarines in this, and there's aircraft. Fantastic. There are ours, by the way. So as I say, this is a compass relative to the world. Okay, this here is forward and reverse, 1/3, 2/3, standard ahead, full ahead, flank, reverse, astern is 1/3, 2/3 and full. You don't really want to go from full flank speed to straight to reverse. You do it in stages, so I would go sort of starting off in port, I would go 1/3, a little bit of left ladder to pull you out, and I'll show you that in a minute. So this is your controls for the ship, so this is your speed, alright? And then it tells you above, or you put your mouse scroll over it, or your mouse pointer, engine orders, telegraph, send orders for submarine speed, setting usually the telegraph, right? You can use 1 to 5 for forward, and then I think it was 5 or 8 to whatever it was for reverse, alright? This is your steering. So when you're going forward, if you want to steer left, you turn it to the left. Put it to, that's hard left rudder, that's middle. It tells you in degrees. I think it could be doing a little bit bigger, and I will make some comments and hope the devs pick it up. So the little bit of writing here and the markers could be a little bit bigger. This is nice. This sort of size is nice, but we don't want it to impact on the screen really. So that's your rudder, gives you control of your submarine, full right or full left. This people in the nautical world know it as port and starboard. Alright, this could do being a little bit bigger. This is just speed in knots, and this is your feet, I believe, under your keel, and this is your direction. Let's have a look. Depth in feet, probably depth down below the surface, but I'm not 100% sure of that at the moment, because you got this gauge here. Anyway, you can take these out, in other words, make them disappear. You can do that by pressing that one, removing that one, to remove that. I'll bring that one back and remove that compass over there. This sets the ship to periscope depth. Don't do it while you're sitting in port, as I said, you'll bottom out. This one here surfaces the ship, in other words, you're running on the surface. And this is emergency dive, quick action dive, deep. couple little points I would like to make out to you. The ship says it's been tested to 400 feet, but in fact it's less than that. So over here it says 400, but I'd say a safe working depth is 300. So you can go deeper, but anything above 400 you're risking hull damage. Right, this also tells you the next one up is a maximum speed in knots submerged. That is 9 knots. Surface maximum speed says 22 knots, but when you actually see the speed back here, on here, it actually says 22 knots. Okay? The design speed of this ship was 21 knots. Sorry, pressed the wrong one. So electric motors for high speed, batteries 126 cells, English 4 diesel engines, and length 311 foot and 19 inches. I don't think that's right actually. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was 100. I don't think that's right. I will check in a minute and make sure that. But I just will point out. Right, moving. This is your forward facing torpedoes. You have 16 torpedoes. Okay? In 6 tubes. As you can see on the diagram here. Alright. So I've got a dog in the room with me, and I think it's playtime. And you'll see this is the conning tower. Because it's such small print, I have hard reading it. It's after battery space, which is there. And this one is main engine and generators. This one is main engine and generators, after engine room and forward engine room. Okay. Motor room, aft torpedo room. And there's your torpedoes. You have 2 torpedoes on the starboard, 2 torpedoes on the port side. And you'll see that when it comes up on that little screen above there. Aft torpedoes. Okay. You will also see there's like a little, let me bring it up again, there's a little like bar underneath the torpedo 3 loaded. That means it's loaded, it's in the tube, right? When it's in red, it means it's been loaded or you've expired all your torpedoes. And as you use your torpedoes, this will be like how do I describe it? Just like outlined. In other words, little dots all the way around it. So it's almost like they're not there. So you've got 8 torpedoes facing aft, and you've got 16 forward. 6 are loaded up, and they're automatically loaded for you, and that's great. This is your hull percentage, and if you take damage, this will go down. And if you die, you get respawned, but not here. You'll be basically respawned back at port, and you basically start a new game. But if you save your game on a regular basis, you can start in that position to re-continue the scenario. So there's some little helps for you there. Right, so that's the basics. This is your torpedoes. To fire a torpedo, you hit that or press T on your keyboard. To fire your deck gun, you press G. I'm not going to do it because I'm wasting ammunition. Alright? I don't really want to do that. And sorry, my dogs started barking if you can hear them. Right, should we get on the way? Right, let's take this ship out. So 1/3 forward, and we'll go to that view, and we'll bring it round a little bit on starboard, bring us out nice and gently, and away we go. 2/3. Lovely. Right. Midships. To anyone that doesn't know, midships means straight. And it confirms the order when you do it. So if you put a little bit of right rudder, rudder right sir, right aye captain. So we go back to straight at midships again. What you're aiming for is a centre between this and this. If I show you underneath the water, right, there's rocks this side and there's rocks that side. So you're aiming, let's take it down, I'll show you what I mean. Let's take it down there and you'll see what I'm talking about. Great thing about this game, you can look underneath the water as well. It's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant game. Just check on top where we are. We've got a little bit of right rudder. A bit more standard ahead. So, you'll see rocks coming up very shortly on the right hand side, on the left hand side. It is nearly dusk, so whatever the time may be, and we're aiming between these two. We don't want too close to that side actually. I think I'll give a bit more right hand rudder, and then midships. And you can see the rocks just coming into view here, and the rocks this side as well, and we're going in between it. Let's take us down a little bit more, 50 meters, and that's periscope depth. You see what I mean? And the great thing is you can look around a ship. Well, I keep calling it a ship, it's a submarine, isn't it? What a fantastic game. I mean, look at that, brilliant. Eh? What a lovely view. Right. Ideally, when you start this game, you want to practice using your ship. Alright? Because, I know I keep calling it a ship, sorry, a submarine. You need to practice and get familiarised with the controls. It's easy for me because I've been playing it for some time. Yeah? Bit of full right hand rudder almost. We don't want to bump into the island because what you see on top is a lot more underneath, and you'll see that in a minute. Well, if it was daylight you'd see it a lot better. So yeah, they're beautiful. Hey, look at that. Zoom in. See the front torpedo tubes? 1, 2, 3. On the other side. Sorry about the dogs. 3 bow tubes on that side as well. 1, 2, 3. Let's look where we're going. Midships. We don't want to end up banging into something. I think we need to come right a bit more. Just be mindful of what's there. So you look underneath and see where you are. Our midships again. So if you want to stop the submarine, just click on stop and just slow down. Like anything that's got mass, it won't stop straight away. It's not like you put the handbrake on, it's going to stop. It doesn't work like that. And I think it's feeding time, so that's why the dogs are biting. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I had to shut the dogs up, so let's carry on. Okay, as I've stopped the submarine, let's carry on standard speed or knots. You can see the bottom. It's lovely actually. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Well designed. This is only early access. It's going to be a really nice game when this is finished. I tell you now. Really nice game. If you look carefully, you got two either side. Two on the starboard, two on the port. And what you see at the back of the propellers is called cavitation, and where I don't know the technical terms, but it's where it cavitates and causes people that know this better than me. I'm not going to try and fluff my way through it. So anyway, and the more faster you go, the more cavitation you get, and that causes noise. And then what happens? Excuse me. That can be heard by destroyers and that. Excuse me, I was just having a drink of milk. Right, we'll get a bit close to there, so let's come right. Let's bring the speed down. Let's full right rudder. To be honest with you, that's getting a bit too close to my liking actually, so I'm going to drop that down to really slow, and to avoid any problems, we'll surface the boat. And let's go all stop, and let's go reverse, because I think we were going to get ourselves in a little bit of trouble. We need to come down on the left rudder, because I think we was going to run aground there. I don't really want to start the game like that. And then we need to go forward. Off we go. Right. Full right hand rudder. Get away from the little island. As you can see, underneath is a big mass of land or sea floor. And I don't really want to land or run aground on that. You see? Quite close, but I think we'll get away with it. There we go. Not far away from that, will we? Alright, let's go midships.